take a look at the sharp drop-off in volatility. I mean, volatility just evaporated almost overnight. And now we're getting to the point, volatility's just turned up onto a buy signal. That suggests that we may get a push higher in the next week or so. Here's what you need to know before the bell. Let's take a look at what was happening with the VIX. The volatility index is very interesting here because just a month ago, right in October, volatility was rising. There was lots of concern about super bearish, outcomes, and we were just going to be in the new bear market, and it was all over. And we were writing that, hey, volatility here had gotten very extended, and we were looking for a reversal beginning in November, and that would coincide with a rally in the market. And man, what a rally we got. But take a look at the sharp drop-off in volatility. I mean, volatility just evaporated almost overnight. And now we're getting to the point, as we've been talking about here, that we either need a consolidation or correction. Volatility has just turned up onto a buy signal. That suggests that we may get a push higher in the next week or so. In volatility, lower asset prices, higher volatility. Now, again, you need something to trigger that. So again, is that the employment report? Is the Fed going to say something? Who knows? You need something to trigger that move higher. The question is just, what is it going to be? What piece of news item is going to be? But that's worth paying attention to, again, if you're really long equities here, if you've got a lot of risk on your books. That very low level of volatility is going to reverse at some point and tends to reverse, fairly quickly. So just be aware of that. Oil prices are another thing that have really kind of grabbed attention here lately, as oil prices have continued just to decline. Now remember, back in October, we were talking about oil prices were very overbought, very extended. We had reduced our oil positions at that point, suggested that we were going to get a correction in oil prices. At that time, we'd suggested that oil prices correct back to about 75. We got there. We actually broke below 70 yesterday. So again, oil prices now getting very oversold. We're about 2 standard deviations below the moving average, very oversold here. Still on a sell signal at the moment. But this is a good setup here for a reversal in oil prices. Again, probably won't happen in the month of December. But again, once we start getting into January, February, we get into a seasonally stronger period for oil prices. So we may see a uptick in oil prices. But right now, this has been pushing downward on expected inflation. Obviously, oil prices relate to the economy. So this also suggests that the economy is doing a little bit weaker as well. And that's being reflected in some of the recent economic reports. If we take a look at Bitcoin, that's also been another thing that's been in the news a lot lately. As soon as Bitcoin rallies, you start getting all these headlines out that, Bitcoin's going to 100,000. This is its moment. It's back. It's going to replace, fiat currencies, blah, blah, blah. It's going to cure everything. Whatever your belief is, it's fine. But technically, Bitcoin is very overbought. We're 3 standard deviations above the long-term moving average, very overbought on a MACD basis. So again, if you've been long Bitcoin here from, kind of these lower levels, great opportunity to take a little bit of profit. Look for a pullback probably into the mid 30s as maybe the next kind of entry point for Bitcoin. But again, don't get too excited about this rally. It's been a great rally here. Very speculative in nature. Again, the whole asset class is pretty much just a speculative bet on, who owns what and who's selling and who's buying. There's not a lot of fundamentals here, but if we take a look at kind of a long-term graph, it hasn't done a lot relative to where it was previously. So you've got a lot of ground to cover to get just back to where you were, where a lot of people have gotten caught into this back in 2021-ish and then through 2022. Really kind of got trapped at these lower levels. So this is really the first opportunity that a lot of these people that got trapped at these lower levels in Bitcoin, they've got the first opportunity to get out. So again, this rally will probably fail here and you're going to get a pullback to some lower levels. So if you're looking to trade Bitcoin, you're likely going to have a much better entry point somewhere between 30 and 35,000 on Bitcoin, sooner rather than later. So that's what you need to know before the bell.